eating, it can separate the anupramana from the leaf and it will be imbibed by the patient. And then the curd protects the inner linings of the mouth, and because this leaf should not be eaten, the curd protects the inner layer and the intestinal tract. And due to fasting, the body is already cleansed, very pure. And if you take anything on empty, Ayurveda physicians also say take this on empty stomach, that has a bearing on the medicine. The medicine is absorbed very quickly and acts with full potency. And they lived in the conducive environment of Shweta Arkavana, and they bathed in Kaveri river, which collects a lot of herbs. While she came down collecting the herbs, and they in the running water they bathed. And this is an aggregate of various beneficial factors. We should keep in mind that all the vratas are structured only to help us. And we will go to Vata now. The time is running out. The Nagarakanda of Skanda Purana narrates the legend of very same Galava. He wanted to have a son. So he placed an idol of Surya along with his consort under a banyan tree. And he worshipped them for 15 years. And later, as usual, son was pleased with his penance, and progeny was endowed with great merits, and he named his son Vateshwara. And this deity was called Samba Aditya because Sa Amba, along with the consort. So it was known as Samba Aditya. And Vateshwara also built a beautiful mansion, and that is Vataditya. Narada has sung in praise of Vataditya, saying that even a woman if she is 100 years old, barren or a widow, she will quickly conceive with the favor of Samba Surya. How compassionate. Here comes the medical part. Vata tree. In north, they used to circumambulate, do pradakshina for the Vata tree. In the south, we do for the Ashwatha tree, and we say Ashwatha Martha Suti Adivaita Thodu Pathuka. That is a proverb. But they used to do it for the Vata tree. So the early morning pradakshina is stipulated for women. Ozone rich air whistles through the banyan leaves, wafting the wind, and the water saturated molecules reach the woman. And then the medicine aspect is imbibed by her through the nostrils, and ozone cleanses the uterus. It is very important. And early morning rays of the sun is also very valuable medicinally. Fasting cleanses the body, as I told. And then walking around the rough terrain makes one lose weight. And it also has the effect of acupressure, because she is doing the pradakshina of the tree and the terrain is very uneven with pebbles and all that. That gives the effect of the acupressure. And then by touching the tree, she receives the biorhythms. And being in its property, she receives all that. The positive comportment of the mind transposes the good vibration throughout the body, and the conception is easier. So that is why perhaps can we go to Vata? Yeah, this is these ladies are doing Vata Surya, Vrata. And in the north it is very popular, Vata Savitri Vrata. What we did today in the morning, they do it to the Vata trees. Savitri Vrata they do to Vata trees. They call it Vata Savitri Vrata. And okay, we do for Ashwatha trees, I told you earlier. Let us go see Ashwatha trees. Brahma Purana deems Ashwatha tree to be cosmic. Surya went in search of his consort, Samnya. And she was living in northern Guru in the form of a mare. When Surya started in his venture, the Janasthan sages, they somehow wanted to prevent Surya from looking for his wife. So an irate Surya, he cursed the sages to become Ashwatha trees. This is also symbolic. So after that, the poor sages became Ashwatha trees, and then he went and met Samja, and then he fathered twins, the Ashwani Kumaras, the celestial physicians. That's what the Purana says. So his sons inherited the curative skills from the father. They are the vital breaths, prana and apana. They are symbolized as Ashwini Kumaras. Now we know Surya Namaskara, and now we know why the sages inhibited Surya. Because the Ashwatha tree draws all the potency. And Surya, you can do Pradakshina for Ashwatha, you can do Surya Namaskara and Pranayama. Surya Namaskara and Pranayama go hand in hand for restoring the health that everyone knows. It's become very popular now. And Shani Graha is also connected with Ashwatha. One more Graha. The tree is propitiated for incurring the blessings of Shani also, and Brahma Puranam, it is seen in Brahma Purana, and it also gives a story as usual of Samavedi Pipala, and there are two demons who became Ashwatha and Samavedi Pipala, devoured the disciples of Agastya, and Agastya went and asked Shani to help, and Shani came and destroyed them and saved the disciples. That is the story. But Shani gave the boon that the task of peoples will be accomplished if they touch the Ashwatha tree, circumambulate it, and the desires will be fulfilled. Why does the Purana have the word touch the tree? Biorhythms. You'll have to touch the tree, hug the tree, embrace the tree to get its biorhythms. That will help you. And Saturday is highly meritorious. Daytime, everything counts, because they all have a scientific basis. Highly, and it reverts all planetary effects. All planets can be, the malefic effects can be counteracted by Ashwatha Pradakshina on Saturdays. We observe a trend in these mythologies. From the mouth of sages, we hear so many vratas. That is not for torturing us, but actually one can deduce that mythology is a veritable code that can be deciphered to understand the intended information. We'll have to think about it. Then now we can see some flowers. So let us go to lotus. What does lotus has to do with Surya? The king Anaranya story is here about Prabhasa Kshetra in Skanda Purana. The Surya is supposed to be in the center of the lotus, thumb-sized Surya, resplendent lotus called Brahmodbhava, and Surya is shining with, and he is radiating effulgence. What is the connectivity between lotus, sun and immunity? Perhaps the hydrophyte lotus absorbs certain rays of the sun, and since it blossoms early, the sun and then floats on the water, it receives all the sun's rays. And the flowers are containing nilambine, a very important alkaloid. And all parts of the lotus flower is used. That Vishnu Dharmottara Puranam writes about lotus. A woman who has a miscarriage should bathe where lotuses grow. And I referred Materia Medica, and it states that the syrup of the flowers arrests bleeding in piles and menorrhagia, that is uterine bleeding. It arrests the uterine bleeding, thus saving the fetus. So Kamala Saptami Vrata is advised for ladies, for the same reason. Iconography of Surya also has two Padmas on the hand of Surya, and he is seated on a lotus pedestal. And then we go to Parijata. Brahma Purana traces the origin of sun to Parijata. That the instance of Shiva, Devas created Surya from Parijata tree. That means Parijata should also have some medicinal value, so potent that the tree can be compared to Surya. Padma Purana also endorses this and hails Parijata along with Japa flower, that is Hibiscus rosa sinensis, Japa flower. Parijata has white petals and the pedicel is deep orange, resembling the early morning sun. And medically also it has nictantine and it is very useful. It has a lot of medicinal properties. Then now we go to Karavira. Karavira, the red variety of Karavira is used in puja of Surya. And as usual, they resort to Krishna's son Samba, and he getting contracting leprosy due to the curse of Krishna, all that. So Samba, he worshipped Samba Aditya at Prabhasa Kshetra. He fasted and offered Karavira flowers mixed with red sandal paste. And he offered Kundaraka incense also. Perhaps this is a cure for leprosy. We'll have to look into that. And Narada Purana also stipulates this tree for growing, which is growing in the temple garden on Vaishaka Shukla Pratipad, addressing the Karavira tree and then collecting and using it for medicinal purposes. You must understand that Karavira tree is very poisonous. Please do not collect the parts and at random use it. Please ask a Vaidya about it. And then Dhatri is all the, you know that Amalaki is Dhatri. Kartika Mahatmya of Skanda Purana gives lot of details about Dhatri. Surya, if he is stationed in Libra in the month of Kartika, Amalaki becomes multifold potent. The sun's presence in a certain Rasi is conducive of auspiciousness of herbs associated with that particular Rashi. That also we see in all the astronomical texts. So Amalika at that juncture possesses the potency of sun, thereby accruing the curative property and nourishing property of the sun. And then we go to neem tree. Azadiracta indica, you know that all the parts of neem tree is used, and it is a germicide, it kills bacteria, it kills virus disease. In those days they were used for even smallpox. So the Uttarakanda of Padma Purana states that bath at this place rids, at the Nimbarka Tirtha rids one of all diseases. Why bath at Nimbarka Tirtha? Because if a pond is surrounded by Nimba tree, all the leaves fall into the tree, which are medicinal, the fruit falls into the tree, and the water is rendered very potent in medicine. So this is the only sthala where sun is personified as a tree. Then we go to nakshatras, the constellations. And 27 trees are specified for 27 nakshatras. And Rajanigundu carries a lot of detail about this. And the shloka says, this is the Rajanigundu shloka, and the shloka says that an Ayurveda Vaidya will never prescribe that person's birth star tree to him. The first thing he asks is, what is your birth star? That is for a purpose. For example, Ashwini has Karaskara. The people born in Ashwini cannot use any part of Karaskara. Either it will be placebo or it may give rise to unwanted things. So that is why he said, do not take the medicine. And you do not hew down the trees, especially your birth star trees. And if you do so, to atone for the sin, plant a lot of trees and pray to them. That is maybe because the trees by themselves will know that this person is born in the star and he has to help him, and he will help him, the tree will help him automatically without even taking the medicine. That could be one point. I don't know, we'll have to research with patients who are willing to take the risk. And then we have many stars now, 27 stars, and we are running out of time. Can I take 5, just 5? Yeah, can I take 5-10 minutes, sir? Okay. Then I'll just say 1 or 2 words about the trees. You have everything in the chart. And Ashwini twins are for curing diseases of the eye and restore vision for the blind. And the tree for Ashwini is Karaskara, that is Trichnis noxvomica. Does it ring a bell? Yes. Noxvomica, homeopathy, the famous homeopathy medicine is made from this tree, which is a panacea for many diseases. And it is also called Vishavriksha. Why? Because if you consume this in large quantities, it can result in fatality. So always ask a Vaidya before plucking something and eating. And it enhances the acuity of the senses. Mostly the seed extract is used in medicine, and it is used for the treatment of strokes. For stroke victims, it is very helpful. And conditions of central nervous system is cured by this. It is a digestive, also used in homeopathy extensively. The tree stimulates the dormant potential of these various senses. That is a very rare attribute for a tree. And next time if somebody uses, what does it matter if Etti tree puts forth fruits, and what if the stingy are affluent? Etti padithal enna, Iyadar valda, please don't accept it, because none can match Etti in its magnanimity. Then we go to Bharani. Bharani has Amalaki. We saw about the Amalaki some time ago, and a very rich source of vitamin C, and it's a Sanjeevani fruit, and it controls Vayu, Pitta and Kapha, and wards off evil spirits and demons according to Skanda Purana and Padma Purana. And there are 2 chapters in Skanda Purana specially devoted to Dhatri. And then we go to Kritika. The tree is Udumbara, and Ud is the prefix, and it has a relationship with Agni. Amba means water. That means going towards water. The Samhit twigs of the tree are used in yajnas to subjugate the malefic effects of planet Shukra. Water streams are found under its roots, and it's a water diviner's delight. If he says Udumbara tree, he knows he can make a well there. There is a lot of water. Kotirudra Samhita of Shiva Purana describes that Ganga flowed from the branches of an Udumbara tree, the Gautama Samhita. And then it offsets the effect of physical afflictions due to heat. And it belongs to the ficus family, that is the Kshirin family, milk exuding tree. The roots are all medicinal in value. It remedies bruises, wounds and problems of the skin. Juice extracted from root or fruit helps in diabetes. Sap of root is applied on mumps. For mumps, you don't have, you cannot have any external application, but this can be applied. And the fetus is fortified by rubbing externally on the abdomen during the 4th month of pregnancy. She will never have miscarriage. And it is extensively used in gynecology. And there is a story about Agni is subdued for Narasimha. When he put his fingers, fiery fingers, he was finding it very difficult to control. He just thrust them into the fruits of Udumbara, and the burning sensation was instantly subdued. And then we go to, it is a part of the Panchavalkala oil trees, and it helps in pre and postnatal care. we have Rohini. I have only 5 minutes now. We have Rohini, and the tree is Jambu. As we know, we are all living in Jambudvipa. And in ancient texts, the Jambu fruits are described to be elephant sides, which used to fall with a big thud, roll around the slopes of the mountain and make a big river. And all the people in Jambudvipa were eternally young. That's very interesting. And they never saw dotage. They never had any perspiration. It could be because of the diuretic property of the fruit. Then they also had jambu, what is called jambunada, because these jambu fruit along with the soil became the gold. So all part excepting the root are used. Medically, the seed and the fruit is effective in the treatment of diabetes. Bark paste is applied on inflammations. Powdered seeds and stones remedies diabetes and controls urine sugar. It allays thirst. Thirst is a symptom, classic symptom of diabetes, and it allays that. And little wonder that Ganesha liked Kapita Jambu Sara Bhakshitam. And then we go to Mrigasirisha Khadira. It is acacia catchu, the Karungali or the Khadira. And the malefic effects of Angaraka, as we saw in the table, that the offset by praying to a tree and touching it. It says touching it. And it has the medicinal quality of stability and strength. It removes skin problems, coughs, cold, tones facial muscles and blemishes of skin. Kattak kambu that we use in tambulam, pan, is from this tree. It strengthens gum, and it is a toothbrush tree. You can use it as a you can use the young shoots as toothbrush. And Arudra is Shimshapa. Oil is used for the treatment of leprosy, cough, and it's a good germicide. Raspings of the wood is also used in leprosy, skin conditions and vomiting. Dried bark and fresh leaves are used in the conditions of varicose veins, which is very hard to control. And dried bark and then the seating and other products carved out of Shimshapa wood is beneficial. It promotes positivity. And when we read Ramayana, we cannot forget Shimshapa, because she sat under a Shimshapa tree in Ramayana, and that kept her alive, gave her a lot of positivity that Rama will come one day and deliver her from this. And then we go to Punarvasu. The Vamsha or the Mungil is the tree, and it is used in all auspicious occasions. And I'm skipping a few because it's already in the table. And we go to Pushya, Ashwatha. Ashwatha has a lot of medical qualities, attributes. Water is contained in this tree, and hence the name People. Water is already there. And then it is also a good aphrodisiac, one of the trees in Panchavalkala Kashayam, and it allays hiccups. Ulcers and gargle and salivation is helped by the Kashaya. External application is you can see in skin diseases, rheumatism and all that. Milky juice is also applied externally for many diseases. Then we go to Aslesha. And Atharva Veda contains special prayers for the increasing the luster of the tree. It can be seen in the night. And then flower is Nagakesha. It is also called Nagapushpa and Siranagapu, and it has a very strong trunk, exudes oil that is used as medicine for gout, rheumatism and a number of illnesses. And it is very, very sturdy tree. That is why it is called iron tree. And it has a rustle effect. That is, if you see in the night, it has, it can be seen. It has a photographic emulsion, and it can be seen. And the flowers are also a favorite of Lord Vishnu. And I can only say a few lines. I'm sorry, if you want more details, I can come and discuss about it. And I mean, when you meet me next time, Magha, and Vata is the tree. And the various parts of the tree are used in Ayurveda for treating multifarious diseases. It is also a milk exuding shireen tree and reduces blood sugar in diabetes. It's very important. And dysentery and hemorrhage. Young shoots are used as toothbrushes. And the leaves help in separation and discharge of the pus. And it represents Lord Shiva. Sita also did Vata Savitri Vrata during her exile in the forest. And we go to Purva Palguni, Palasha, that is Puram. The tree means a lot of leaves. Kimshuka, and it is nothing but the common beauty frondosa that we see. And I'll skip a lot of things because I cannot finish. So Palasha Danda is given for Upanayanam. Seeds are used in deworming and red dye. During Holi, you can use the dye without using the chemical substances because this is water soluble and will not harm anyone. And it is also used for dyeing purposes. And Uttara Palguni, Plaksha is the star, and for the star Uttaram, Uttara Palguni is Uttaram. And we come across Plaksha Deepa in all the Puranas, and Treta Yuga stayed eternally in Plaksha Dvipa. And then it is supposed to be the king of the trees. Narada Purana hails this tree. Its shade is conducive for yajnas, one of the Panchavati trees, and you can see the medicinal aspect here. It is extensively used in gynecology, and leaves subdue Rakta Pitta. And we go on to Hastam, which has Arisha or the soap net. Soap net has saponification. You know, it is used for many, we use it for clothes and in many cosmetic products. The pulp and the root also have medicinal value. Experiment and fumigation of it is effected in hysteria and melancholia. If somebody is very depressed and has hysteria, if you fumigate that room, the hysteria will come down. And but you will have to be very careful because it precipitates a miscarriage. So one has to be very careful. And it is seeds are narcotic. Never use the seeds and acrid poison. Tree removes all the spells. And then we go to Chitra. Bilva is the tree, and Bilva means breaking asunder. It has many synonyms, and leaves are used for swellings. Roots control rapid heartbeat, or what we call as palpitations. And if you use other drugs, in Western medicine, it has a lot of side effects. But if you use our medicine, palpitations will be controlled and it will not have any side effects. And it is also used in insomnia. You cannot sleep, go to a Bilva tree. And Bilva Mahatmya is given in all the Puranas. And Swati has Arjuna tree, Venmardu, Terminalia. There are two types of Arjuna, and Venmardu is preferred. But both the trees have the same medicinal effect. And the Rakta Arjuna is also used, but people usually prefer Shweta Arjuna. It removes all ailments relating to the heart, like digitalis. It can be used. It removes all the blocks. And no need to take statin and all that, which has a lot of side effects. And it is used for lacerations, fractures and swellings. The red variety, Nala Kubera story you have seen in Bhagavatam, and the little Krishna coming in between the two Arjuna trees and the Arjuna trees falling down, that also has a significance. And Vishaha has Vikankata, or the Kala, what we pickle. And it's a thorny tree and is used for Shruva, the ladle which is used for taking ghee and samids and pouring into this thing. So we have Bakula for Anuradha and Sarala for Jeshta, and Mula has Shala tree or Kungilium as it is called, and we have for Puradam Purvashada, Vanjula tree, Uttarashada Panasha, and Shravana has again Arka, we discussed about it. Dhanishta has Shami tree, and Pandavas hid their armaments when they were in incognito in the Shami tree. That has a significance. I don't have time to tell all that. And then it subdues. It subdues planet Shani. It is a summit tree, and Sadabhikshak tree is Kadamba, and the tree for Puratadi or Purva Bhadrapata is Amra, and Uttara Bhadrapata it is Nimba tree. We discussed about the Nimba tree. And then for Revati it is Madhuka. Never use the word Alayilla Urukku Ilipappu Sakkara, because the flowers are sweet, but it is very medicinal in value, and it concerns fertility. And then we come to the economic part of in Brihat Samhita, Dravya Nischayadhyaya contains plants that are very beneficial if grown in a country. It tells how to enhance the growth and how it contributes to the economy of the tree. And if we cultivate according to Brihat Samhita, the yield will be plenty. And then now I am going to conclude my lecture. It is past time. We learned that there is a constant flow of divine energy from the celestial bodies and to the plant kingdom. This is absorbed and utilized by the animal kingdom through the plants. And it includes us. We can only offer our gratitude through the preservation of flora. Please never cut the trees and plant more trees. And always protect your trees. Vriksho rakshati rakshitaha. Dhanyavadaha.
First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Premalatha for her excellent lecture. Full of information. If she had spoken for 60 minutes, she has used every minute to present so much of information that shows her expertise both in Sanskrit as well as in botany. Very rare combination. Thank you very much, madam, for your excellent lecture. And I would like to add just 2 or 3 points regarding her references to yoga. First of all, she talked about Pragjyotisha. Pragjyotisha means it is an eastern part of India, identified with modern Assam. So it is in the east side. And in the human body, it is associated with the right side of the body. So it is Pingala. Again, east is connected to the Surya, so Pingala is also connected to the Surya. That is one thing. And regarding the story of Valakilya, how they were drawing the solar energy directly, I can assure you, madam, that it is now possible also. The saints of yore were living for such a long number of years without eating any solid food by drawing the solar energy directly. That it is also possible now. There are some yogic texts which give references to this, how we can draw energy directly from the sun, so that you can have a long life without depending upon the other sorts of foods. And regarding Ashwatha, we all know that in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Ashwatha Sarva Vrikshanam. So it is the Ashwatha tree. And also to compare what we call the invertendo principle, Lord says, Urdhvamulam adashakam aswatham brahuravyayam. Ashwatha is used And strangely, in yogic texts, especially in the text written by Yajnavalkya, Yoga Yajnavalkya, the nadis inside the body, they are equated with the Ashwatha tree. How are the nadis situated inside the body? Even in the Vedas, we say Tirya Gurdham Adhashayi Rasmayastasya Santata, like that, no? So, in the yogic text, it is said it is just like the nerves that we find in the Ashwatha leaf. So, Ashwatha plays an important role not only in the theory of yoga but also in the practice, that it has been recommended that a person who sits for 1 or 2 hours under the Ashwatha tree, the mental depressions will be eliminated. Therefore, our ancients implanted the Vinayaka idol under the Ashwatha tree so that we may not destroy the Ashwatha tree and we may spend more time under the Ashwatha tree. So, it is not without reason that these things have been incorporated in our daily rituals. And only one query about the Parijata. She showed Pavalamalli, but the description of Parijata, as we found in the text on which one research scholar worked here now, Parijata Harana, Lord Krishna is supposed to have brought the Parijata tree from the heavens, but that does not go with the Pavalamalli as we see now. Parijata is certainly different from what we call Parijata in Tamil now. And regarding the Amalaka, in the Ayurveda it is said